What's good? What's good? Welcome to another edition of Out the Box Talks. I am your host, Cril. I am back for a new episode, but this is an interview episode. And you guys know that if you've been checking out the channel on YouTube, Out the Box TV, last week I was doing a lot of impromptu, like live videos that that's dealing with topics reflecting hip hop culture. So I will definitely keep that going. I just been a little busy earlier this week. As you guys may know, I'm getting ready to release my debut album, and by the time you hear this interview, it will be out. So I'm looking forward. I'm doing a lot. So I want to thank all of the viewers, all of the listeners that tap into the podcast, check for me on a regular. It means everything to me. We are at episode 98. So that means that I'm closer to that 100. And like I said, I'm going to get to that 100 before the year's up. And, I'm just really excited at this particular time, man. It's a lot going on. And I'm excited to talk with the guest that I have on the show today. But before we jump into the main deal today, which is the interview, I do want to mention a few things related to Out the Box. As you know, the website is outtheboxmedia.com. You can go to that website and become a subscriber for free. You're a free subscription allows me to keep you updated with all the things happening while Out the Box. And you'll actually be a part of our email blast list, right? So it's very simple. Go to outtheboxmedia.com, click on the subscribe tab, and just, subscribe that way. Now, also a few other things happening with Out the Box. We have our merch store, outtheboxmedia.bigcartel.com, where you can find snapback hats like this and other Out the Box merch. We got the MC Over Rap tees up there. Got some other really inspirational t-shirts and hoodies up there as well. So go check out the link if you want to support the platform and you like what we do, you like what we stand for. Definitely feel encouraged to go over there and support with some merch. Also, if you like to donate, I gotta make sure I mention that. Like, if you like to donate to the platform, you really like what we do and you want to just send donations. So you can send donations to paypal.me at outtheboxmedia.com. I'm sorry, paypal.me/outtheboxmedia. You can send donations there through PayPal. And you could also send donations through Cash App. And the Cash App is #OutTheBoxRep. Okay. So whichever one works for you, PayPal or Cash App, you can send donations there. Okay. And whatever amount you can send is very much appreciated. It helps me to continue to do the work that I do on this magnificent platform. All right, with Out the Box Talks. Also, we have a Patreon page. So if you would like to get access to exclusive interviews, right? These are all interviews that are not available to the general public. It's only if you become a Patreon member or a member of Out the Box Media. So you can subscribe at patreon.com/outtheboxmedia. And if you go to that link, it'll give you you'll be able to see the list of different artists that I have as these exclusive interviews. There's over 30 interviews and counting. So definitely that's another way you can support the platform. All right. So there's multiple ways. You got the merch through Big Cartel store, you got the Patreon through the subscriptions, and you got the donations. All right. So thank you so much. Before I go into the interview, I do want to mention that the podcast is also available on Spotify, Apple, Google, Anchor.fm. So you can find the high quality audio of the podcast there if you are currently watching on YouTube at Out the Box TV. Also, if you're watching on YouTube at Out the Box TV, you can subscribe to the channel if you have not yet and you like the content. All right. So let's jump into our main interview today. The artist that I have on the platform has been doing his thing I want to say since about 2014, if I'm not mistaken. And I've been aware of him, I want to say since at least 2015. And he's been doing a lot of dope work, man, as an artist. You know, I always somehow resonated with his sound. Like I like the music and the style of music that he does, you know, the thought-provoking content in his lyrics and the boom bap, really soulful type of beats. So it was really cool to hear that he had just put out an album. And to be honest with you, I kind of lost track of his music over the years. I wasn't really in the know of some of his releases in recent years. And then when I look back, I was like, wow, he actually been putting out at least an album or a project every year since 2014, which really speaks to his consistency and his ability to continue to put out quality as an artist. So I definitely want to chat with him today about this latest album entitled Keys of Light, produced by Navo The Maestro. So we're going to chat with him about that and some other aspects of his career. So without further ado, I want to welcome to our Out the Box Talks listening and viewing audience, my brother hailing. Well, he's actually a native of Alabama, but currently representing and hailing from North Carolina. I want to welcome to our Out the Box show the homie, the brother, SkyBlew. Welcome.
Family, what's good? What's good?
What's good, man? How you doing, man?
Hey,
Thank you
I'm
for
doing.
being here.
Oh yeah, appreciate. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It's a pleasure to finally have you on the show. I feel like this might be kind of long overdue because, like I said, I've been definitely checking your music out for some years now. And when I found out that you were releasing this new album, and as soon as I put the album on, I was like, yo, this is fresh. So one thing about you is that you've kept your consistency as an artist and your ability to really pick really dope sounding beats, and just the flavor of SkyBlew is still consistent. It sounds the same as what I've heard years ago, and that's a good thing. So yeah, man, it's a pleasure to have you, man. Before we jump into like the crux of the interview, because like I really want to talk about the new album, I do want to give you the opportunity to let the audience know a little bit about your history. So tell us how you got involved with pursuing music.
Ah man, good. That's a good question. Um, See, I've been doing music for one. First of all, thank you for the beautiful intro, man. That was lovely, man. I appreciate it. I'm humble. Thank you so much for following me all these years and everything, bro. Like seriously, it's an honor to be here. Thank you. Um, I've been doing what got me into music is I grew up, for the people that my supporters, they know through my music, and for maybe newer people is I grew up in foster care. I was in and out of foster care most of my life and stuff. And one of my escapes, of through what I was going through was music, video games, and anime, and cartoons specifically. And music, as in, I was young. I mean, I'm still young now, but when I was younger, and I wasn't doing music, but I really enjoyed music, and I didn't really understand like why did I gravitate to certain types of sounds of music styles of music until I got older and realized, oh yeah, I like Tribe, I like the De La Soul, Diggable Planets, all that stuff, but I didn't know it was just certain things in jazz and soul and everything. And so as time progressed, I started to understand music a little more, and then as I got into like high school, I started to write poetry. And so first I was writing poetry. Shout out to Miss Lockhart. She's amazing. That's one of my mentors, and she was one of my after school teachers and stuff. And she was putting me on. She was teaching poetry as well, and she was trying to She was like, You're a really good writer. I've always heard that growing up in school. Like I call myself like the colorful dreamer as well because growing up, teachers used to always I used to just like daydream and zone out and stuff. And because I was a dreamer, I was always coming up with like vibrant, imaginative things and scenarios and stuff. So when I got a chance to write stories, they would be like, "You have a very vivid, colorful imagination." That's all I would hear, and sometimes, it was to my dismay as well, because I would get in trouble because I would just not pay attention, because I would just look out the window literally and just zone out or something. And as I got older, I got into the poetry, and I was like trying to incorporate those things into the poems I was writing. And Miss Lockhart would be like, "No, you're really good, right? You really should like pursue this. Like, you really should write more and put your thoughts in it." And then my grandma was saying the same thing. And then that's when I started to write like raps. And oh, excuse me for the little sniffles. I got allergies. My allergies was kind of one of them days. So but my grandma would like what I was writing and stuff. And then that's when I would get into battling. When I moved to North Carolina and finished high school here with my dad and my cousins, and I would like battle at lunchtime and like freestyling consist. I would always freestyle, and then lunchtime comes, people crying around lunch table because we battling against some dope dudes at school that rapped as well. And I I was kind of nice at it. I ain't trying to like hype myself up, but I was winning a lot of them battles. So I was just like, I was known for that. Like, yo, Sky, well, I wasn't Sky Time. I was like Young Millionaire. Yeah, so we'll talk about that. So, but yeah, I was like young Mill. So like, Young Mill, come spit something and stuff. So my cousins and everything and my friends. So I was doing that, and then I ended up moving back to Alabama for a little while. At the time that after that my grandma had died, rest in peace, Arnita Talbert. I mentioned her a lot in my music, and after that, I kind of had an epiphany. I went through a lot of stuff, like if you listen to my music and my stories, my albums and stuff, like my life kind of sucked, just to put it, be forward about it. But as time progressed, I realized a lot of stuff I had to go through to get to where I am. Unfortunately, it was a lot of really bad stuff, and writing was kind of my escape to escape from that. And when I went back to North Carolina, went back to Alabama, that was around the time my grandma had died. I ended up coming back to North Carolina after that, and I was just kind of lost. And at that time, I was homeless. I was still young. I was finishing out high school in the homeless shelter. And one of my mentors, Mr. Baldwin, he would like get a taxi back and forth for me to go to school every day. Like, it was like that. And so I would be after that, I would come and go back to the shelters after school, and I was writing raps. I was just writing. I was writing. I kept book bag. I kept notepads full of rhymes. I was just writing consistently, just writing, just writing, just writing. Youngest dude in the shelter, and I was just writing. And it was. I get maybe I skipped a little part when I at one point in Alabama, when I was when I was still in the Young Millionaire phase, I was just a product of my environment. So I was into some stuff that I shouldn't have been into, and I was rapping about it. So I was just like feeling myself up young and stuff, and like I was doing some stuff. So I was like, I got a stack of money in my pocket, got some in my book bag, a little something, stuff like that. And that wasn't me. I was just getting caught up in. I was from the South, so at that time, Gucci Man was popular, Young G's, everything like that. But I still liked the stuff that I like. I like Lupe and stuff, and that wasn't cool in the hood. Like, they was just like, nah, man, what are you talking about? Mike Jones just dropped. It was like Mike Jones album just dropped. Gucci Man just started popping. Little Boosie, all that stuff. But it was something to me that liked it, that liked the Lupe, what he was talking about, and I didn't understand why I liked it until like now I understand more, because that's like who I was. So when I came back after my grandma died, she is the reason completely why I became SkyBlew. Like, I reevaluated what I wanted to do. Like, do I want to take music serious? I was like, this is something I really seem to really love. So that I started taking it serious, and I started to like kind of expand my mind of what I was writing. And I was trying to write different concepts to different I was writing to certain people beats that I liked. So like, say for instance, a Tribe beat or a Lupe beat or Common or something like that. I would like, what if I was on this beat? How would I tell the story I was trying to tell? So a lot of time before I even got instrumentals, I was writing in my mind to the beat. I had a beat looping in my mind or playing in the iPod, and I was just trying to cancel out the words. I get it in my head, then I start like writing to it of how I was, approach this. So that's a lot. That's how I started, and then I was like, my grandma, that was a big part of this, because when I was writing, she, you know, this is, but of course before she died, she liked my poems as well. And she seen something in me that I ain't see in me, and teacher seen something in me, Miss Lockhart seen something in me that I didn't see in myself. So as I started to really take it serious after she died, I kind of was like, yo, I need to have a full reevaluation of what I want to do as a person and what I want to do with my music. And that's when I came up with the slogan, I don't rap, I paint the sky blue. After I came up with my name, Sky Blue, I put all this together from like the ground up. Everything that I do is very strategic into the person who I am and what my music represents. And I was like, what would my grandma love? What was she like if I did? Oh, she wouldn't want me to cuss. Like I ain't cuss. I ain't just not cussing because it's a novelty or something, a gimmick. Like no, because she would like when I was writing stuff before. Sometimes I would, and she's like, you don't need those words in there. You smarter than that. You don't need that. You can tell your story without doing it. So that's a big part of why I don't even cuss in my music, and now it reaches more people, of course, and it's more universally accepted, without having to edit anything. But that's one of the main reasons. And that's after that I started linking up with a guy from North Carolina, K. Mills. He was a producer, and my friend AC, and and we was just back and forth every day, just recording, going to K. Mills' place. He's making beats, I'm writing, rapping, and it's just from there, and it's built up from there. So that's basically how I started. I was trying to kind of like I cut a lot of the stuff out because my life is, I got an album called SkyBlew's Unmodern Life. My life is very unmodern, to say the least. So I'm just trying to kind of like, what I'm saying, trim around the fat of it, but it's still a lot more that I'm kind of like revealing over time about my stories and stuff. But yeah, that's a little summary of how I started doing music though.
I mean that was a lot, man, and that was very interesting to hear. I think it's really mature of you to think about what would your grandmother want and then
Thank you.
act on it. Like that's pretty mature and responsible of you. I always say, like, I half times or most of the times MCs don't really need to curse. You know, you can, if you're good, if you're really good, you'll listen to an MC and not even realize that they didn't curse, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
so that's I didn't even think about that when in listening to your music that you didn't curse, you know. But
I
like you
was
said, it's further. Mhm.
appreciate that, fam. I was just about to say the same thing. Is people over time say the same thing and be like, man, I just realized you didn't cuss. I wasn't in it. Like I wasn't like, yo, I'm doing this, and plus I don't cuss. It's just like,
Right.
you get caught up in the music of it, and you're like, oh, he didn't even cuss. I could play this for my kids. So it's one of those things. If you do, it is, that's your prerogative and stuff. But it's dope when, not just saying it because it's me. It's dope when you can listen to somebody and they can tell a dope, like a real cohesive story. I make a really dope song, and
Mhm.
it's like you ain't gotta hear edited, or when it come on the radio, it's like beep beep beep, and it's all them stupid sounds they be putting in there on the radio edited versions and stuff. Although I don't listen to the radio no more, but I'm saying it's dope that you can listen to something and you can play it for any scenario around anybody, and you got to worry about people kind of feeling kind of awkward about it.
Mhm. Take me a little bit more into why you chose the name Sky Blue and the spelling of it.
Oh, see, yeah, I knew it was. I knew it was I know it was a reason we connected on an interview, because I haven't done a bunch of interviews. I know people, my fam, they I'm kind of like mysterious, so I'll do music, but you don't see me much and stuff. It's like I'm an enigma in a sense. Like there's a lot of people that don't even think I exist, so that's funny. But the it's a lot of people that, so see the interview is gonna be like, they be like, oh wow, he is a real person, but I can't. So but yeah, the thing of y'all, I say that to say, because you asking some dope questions, not the typical questions, so that's dope. But I came up with the name Sky Blue because of first I came up with the slogan, like, I don't like storms. Thing about storms is, I think it's metaphorical for my life, because I've been through so much storms in my life. And also, You know what? This gonna be the you're gonna be the first I'm gonna share this with. This is a tidbit for my like SkyBlew lore because I have a expansive lore and stories in my albums that the supporters and listeners are following and listen to, and I characters. I got like story mysteries that they put together and stuff in the albums. But one of the things is I don't like storms because of one of my not my grandma that passed away, but my grandma Carol Farrow. She used to pick me up when I was in foster care before my grandma, before I made contact with my other grandma that I was talking about. So she used to pick me up on the weekends when I was in Alabama and in Columbus in one of these foster homes I was in that I hated. And she would pick me up on weekends, and it seemed like it was mainly during the summer and stuff. So it was raining a lot in the summer. It was like storms all the time. And if it was storming, she wouldn't come because riding in the storm and stuff like that. So when she didn't come, it like would just crumble my weekend. Like it would suck. So I would hate it when it storms because that I'm like when I know it's gonna storm, like that if especially if it storm on Friday, it's a wrap on the weekend. And that was just like because I just wanted to get away from that and I wanted to go with my grandma. And so that was one of the things I kept in mind as I started creating the name. I put a lot of little things in my life into the thought process of it. And one of those things where I don't like storms. I want people to, because of people, at that time even when I was doing Young Millionaire before I became SkyBlew, when I started transitioning to SkyBlew, I had some songs where people would tell me, man, I heard this and this brightened my day. Like it's like your voice and like the message and the music, the musicality of it, like the stuff that I pick and the instrumentations and this stuff and the progressions, it was like it just felt better. It made them feel weird. So it's like, AKA, like it was a storm and it painted their sky blue. That's how I looked at it, and I was like, that's my thing. It's like I don't, and also they would say like, you painted a picture for them. Even when I was writing stories, I used to write comic books. Like that's a lot of people don't even know that. I used to write comic books. I used to make my own, as in I would get notebook paper, I would staple them up, and I would draw the boxes and everything. I would draw the characters. I would have them doing powers and naming the power, screaming it out when they doing it. I had all that. Like I really was like that. And that was like, back to the painting, the imagery and the graphics and the music. So I was like, I want to paint the sky blue for them. I want if them to be going through something, whether it's that, whether it's that day, is that week, or I want them, and that especially now, they said, but I wanted to be like it helped them out. Like, man, I was going through it and I heard your song, like one song or something, and it just brightened their day or just changed their whole mood, gave them more perspective. That's what I want to do. I was like, that's what I want to do. That's what my grandma be proud of. So that's was like, I want to paint the sky blue for them. I want, and my favorite color is blue. We haven't got blue on that blue, so paint the sky blue. So I just, sky blue is going to be one word. It's going to be capital S, capital B, all one word, lowercase KYLEW. So, so a sky blue that just shortened for the whole picture is painting the sky blue. So that's why I came up with that. I want to, I want to paint those storms away. I want to chase the storm away. When you hear my songs, metaphorically and literally, what I'm saying? It's like a rain dance or something, like, the opposite of rain dance. Get the rain out of here. Rain's cool actually, but the storms it would
Wait,
suck.
yeah.
So
The blue though, so it's you didn't spell it BLUE, you spelled it BLEW. Why'd you spell it that way?
because it's like I want it to be like a more of a like tied into Mother Nature and like the wind and everything. So the
Okay,
part of the song stuff like so it's like Mother Nature blue, the story. Like if you were somewhere in the city, you're the first to get this, by the way. That's crazy. So if say for instance you're somewhere across the world or something like that, you can't get to it, you can't get to the message or the music from where you at. So it's like God and like Mother Nature like blew the message to you. So it's like you
yeah,
received it from the air, like it came to you. So it's like the message can reach anybody long as the wind blows it to them. So it's like the sky blew it to them. The sky, it blew the message to anybody around the world so they can receive it wherever they are, wherever they at.
interesting. That makes sense,
Thank
man.
you.
Especially when you think about, you know, you it being a metaphor for your delivery of lyrics to the people. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So dope. So
Thank you.
I want to ask you this, and I said this earlier to you. Your catalog is vast, right? You put out a project like every year since 2014. So I don't have the time to go through all of those projects. But what I want to do is ask you, for those people that may not know, if you wouldn't mind like sharing your three most notable moments or impactful projects in your music career thus far. So what would be like the three projects or even experiences that you had in music that you would consider like your most impactful experiences or moments?
Dope, man. You answered some dope questions, by the way. This is dope, man. This is like the interview like my fam has been waiting for me to do. You know, shout out to people I have interviewed before as well. But I'm like, you know, wherever we get more in depth with the, kind of like the SkyBlew story and experience, and how my
Yeah.
mind, So
And I know it could be loaded. So if you as brief as you can keep it.
okay.
So
So so you want me to do the albums or you want me to do the experiences? 'Cause I could do both.
you can do both, but
Okay,
keep it to three if you can.
okay, okay.
So you can do a combination. Yeah.
Okay, so my most impactful album is Sky Blue the Cowardly Boy. And it is Sky Blue the Cowardly Boy, all one word like a Tribe Called Quest. So it's Sky Blue the Cowardly Boy. My fam know, but if you're new to who my music, just listen to that album. You know Courage the Cowardly Dog,
Yes.
that show,
Oh, you know what?
the 90s cartoon about the little dog and stuff.
I might not. I might not. I thought I did, but I not. I thought you were talking about another one of your albums, but nah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's him. You see him? That's him right there, the little purple pink dog. When you
Oh, okay, okay. Got it, got it.
So you'll look it up and you'll probably see it. It's amazing. It's a cartoon, and this dog would get like scared about a bunch of stuff. It'd be monsters and stuff. And he live in the middle of nowhere. He's just trying to protect his owners and stuff. A lot of those episodes of that show has some of the most like prophetic and deep meanings in them. And I always resonated with that cartoon. So I made an album called Sky Blue the Cowardly Boy, and it chronicles, my story, and also a story that I'm telling about somebody else as well. And it's like this kid that he's like afraid, and he's like forced to be in this situation, a lot of negative, like dark situations. And he has to, although he's like kind of scared, he actually is fear of it, but he's actually more brave than he even thinks he is. So
Mhm.
he ends up standing up and fighting through those situations that he thought he couldn't get through. And everybody around him was telling no, you're brave, you're very brave, but he didn't realize it. So that
Mm.
album is very impactful. That's clear. That's really, like that's a cult classic with my supporters and stuff. So that album is my definitely my
Nice.
most impactful one. I would like to say an impactful event in my career will have to be I'm gonna say that album, and then I would say like another I'm gonna just do one album, then I'm gonna do experiences. Although, because I think it's Sky Blue Cowley Boy, and I do think there's another album that's very impactful as well. But I go into experiences. I'll just wrap them up. One of my biggest experiences is making music for Funimation. So I got to create music for that big, the big anime company Funimation, Dragon Ball Z, Yu Yu Hakusho, My Hero Academia, stuff like
Wow.
that. Yeah, man. So that was like
You
a blessing. I'm an anime clearly, I'm an
I see
anime
it.
fan.
Obviously.
So that's a blessing. Shout out to my big bro Mega Ran. You know what I'm saying? He put those plans in motion, like he set it in motion. And I just went through, I just took, stepped in that door, and I just, had to make that work. I was just like, I ain't gonna leave this office without making it happen. And everything just fell into place. Like it was written in the stars for that to happen. So I got to create music. Me and my brother Sublime Cloud, we got to make this song called One for All. And that was a trailer for My Hero Academia, which is a big new anime, Dragon Ball Super, for when Dragon Balls came back. And it's the trailer, it's still on YouTube. And then they used it for a bunch of other trailers as well. So that song was in constant rotation. So that was really powerful for me. That was a huge moment for me for sure. And I would have to say another experience will be releasing albums in like South Korea and Japan, and their charting. I was consistently releasing albums through Link Six. Shout out to Link Six, my brother A June and everything. They will release my albums over there, re-release them. and they would chart. They would be like that'd be like top 10 on their iTunes and billboards, all that. Like in South Korea and Japan, we released a song, a part of this compilation, In Your Mellow Tone, and this song Never Cry Again, and that song was like #1 on their iTunes, under like J. Cole new album was under that. And
Wow.
that's a blessing. So that's definitely one of the things that I had to say. The other experience is definitely my big brother Megaran took me on my first tour, and that was awesome. So that's, so I consistently toured with him, but that first tour, it was just like, I didn't, coming from where I came from in my background in foster care, homelessness, group homes, all that, I didn't think I'd be doing none of this, and touching lives around the world. That's something. That's God, man, and that's a blessing. So that's a major experience for me. So there's my album, and that one, and now I had this, I got a EP an album, Brace for Your Life, SkyBlew. I would think that's another one that's
Nice.
impactful for me.
Wow. I'm happy I asked you this question because that Funimation charting in Japan, like that speaks to how successful you can be as an independent artist if you think outside the box, right? Like I'm using my thing. But if you think beyond just, the States, right? And you think internationally, and shout out to Mega Ran. I did interview him in Novelist this year on the platform. So
Dope,
it's cool to see that, you
dope.
guys have worked together, man. It makes sense. Of course, y'all working together.
Those albums that I named, Race for Your Life, SkyBlew, and SkyBlew, The Cowardly Boy, was released through Mega Ran's label, Random Beats, which is also one of the best experiences as well, because Big Bro took me under his wing. He was the first to like bring me under and take me on my first tour. He was like, I want to release your albums and stuff. So I'm still with Random Beats as well. I'm an independent artist, but anytime I want to present drop an album through the label, I'm gonna drop it through Mega Ran's label as well. So yeah, that's the Big Bro.
That's what's up, man. I love it, man. I love to see like-minded artists collaborating and working together like that. So one of the things that I noticed about you, and when I look at your catalog, you work with a variety of different producers in your career,
Mhm.
from Pobs to Sublime Cloud to DJ Remy.
Oh,
I don't
Ray
know if
May, yeah, Ray May.
Remy,
Mhm.
Scotty Roya, and Navo the Maestro. I'm probably missing some other names too, but how does these producer relationships tend to develop? Do you, like how, like when you think about all the different producers that you work with, um, how do you go about like working with them, like, to where it ends up being albums?
Um, that's that's another dope question that I'm sure people been wanting to know. So yeah, shout out to you. A lot of most of those that you named, from DJ Ray May, Sublime Cloud, and Navo The Maestro specifically. I'm gonna get into Scotty Roy and Pabs after, but those are like my brothers. So we're like best friends, and we came up together. Like as I was starting, a lot of, Sublime Cloud and DJ Ray May, they were like kind of doing it, but not as serious. They were just kind of dabbling in it, especially Sublime Cloud. So like he was really dope, but he would just kind of do it for fun. So when we got together and said we're gonna be a group, and we just I seen something in them as a person. I like working with people I believe in as well. That's because that energy and that connection, and being on the same wavelength. So they're not only good people, my brothers, but they're talented, and I see more in them, like as people saw in me. So I was like, they're gonna elevate and stuff. So a lot of us was working together at the bottom, when their first few beats and ain't been doing beats that long and stuff like that. So they're where they are now is crazy, and they still evolving. I'm still evolving as an artist, but it's just building that from kind of like that foundation together, and so we go back to the basement, if the basement, we was in there dropping tracks, going to stuff and such, eating Burger King. I don't mess with fast food like that no more. Watching Sonic and stuff and Digimon and making tracks just in my mom's basement. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of us came up like that. And then same for Navo the Maestro. He was doing stuff in high school here and there with the band geeks and stuff. That was a group, but this is first like full length produced project. Like he's as doing beats fully on his own and stuff. And people won't even know that. They're like, what? When they hear his production on the new album, it's like crazy. But it's a lot of that is in you. You know what I'm saying? It was already, it came from, like Novel to My Show was like a secret weapon in my career for like a couple of years now. Cause if you see videos of us performing on stage with the band, he was playing keys. That's who was on stage with me playing the keys. And he'd give input and stuff like that, or certain songs like with me and DJ Ray made, my bro Leo Leonard. He, Navo had played out wrote out and played out a few of those. Leo wrote them out, and then Navo would like play out the actual the piano melodies and stuff on a few songs on that album as well. So so when they see him, they're like, oh yeah, that's him. They didn't even know. So like I said, those are my brothers, and we built this together, and it was like we knew what we wanted to do on the same accord with my two sets of butter stars. Like that's my family. It's like we on the same accord, so we all got the same kind of dream, and we know what we want our music to do and how we wanted to sound, and we want to do it our way, and how we want to affect the people, and how we wanted to sound, and we don't want to compromise. And we got the same goals. Like, yo, we want to tour to Japan. We want to go all over the world, touching lives and stuff. We all love video games and anime, cartoons, and that type of stuff, comics and things like that. And then I linked up with like Pabs overseas because of the music through like the jazz top community and everything like that. And he was a dope producer and stuff. And shout out to my bros at the Jazz Hop Cafe, because they're the reason that came to be. And me and him released that project and stuff. I liked his music and his sound, and he liked mine, vice versa. And then we came together and made that EP. And that's like actually I got multiple a lot of albums and stuff, but that EP is just a small EP, and that's actually one of my biggest well received projects. And it's just an EP, and released overseas and released everywhere, but like overseas it blew up, and then it blew up over here. And that's still like one of my most streamed on Spotify and Bandcamp and all that like that. It's like a couple 100,000, maybe like 400,000 now at that point of that whole album, which is crazy. That was just a quick little EP that we just did for fun, but within the music, which was also a tribute to Nujabe's, rest in peace, one of my favorite producers ever. And so that was a tribute to him, released on his birthday as well. And then same for Scotty Royal. I met Scotty. Scotty Royal is one of the I have a connection with everybody. Everybody, like I said, my brothers, they know me personally. They know what I will sound good on and what they want to challenge me with too. Like I was like, yeah, let's try something different and stuff. Scotty Royal is one of those people because my stuff. I said I don't rap or paint the sky blue, so it's like a big picture. It's like a lot of different sounds and elements into one, and that's what he does. Like if Sky Blue was like a producer, I feel like it would be Scotty Royal, because his stuff is so big and it's like vast. And it ain't just one particular thing. You'll hear a bunch of sounds and different melodies and ideas. It's like a abstract painting. And I feel like that's what his production is. And I met him through judging a beat battle years ago in Greensboro. And he actually lost the beat battle, but he was amazing. And when I heard, I was like, yo, regardless if you win or not, like I was like, I ain't trying to be a biased judge or that, but I was like, after this, me and you gonna work together. And we started working together. And he got some stuff on my albums before Jazz for All Them Kids Mad and Race for Life, Jazz for All Them Kids Mad and stuff like that. And then also SkyBlew Cowley Boy. Then we did our Royal Blue Reverie project, and that's one of my well received ones through We Grow Racks, a label in Ireland, released overseas and in America as well, and that did really well. And it's a very abstract project. Then released our project together in 2000. I think it was 2020. The Royal Blue Eccentrics came out in 2019. The Royal
2000
Blue
Scotty Royal, yeah.
Okay, appreciate it. Yeah, 2019, the Royal Blue Essentials. That's one of my favorite projects as well. And I feel like that's another project. Well, the fam, they enjoyed it, and the listeners, they loved it and stuff. But I feel like it's kind of under the radar as well. But I think that's one of the projects over time that's going to take off. Like he's an incredible producer, so everybody brings something different to the table. But I hear I like different things from different people. So each one brings something different to the table. So that's where we all come together like Voltron, and it just worked.
That's awesome, man. So while we on the topic of producers, I do want to talk about Navo the Maestro and his work on this new album, Keys of Light. The production is extremely rich. The beats are very soulful. It almost sounds like there's live instrumentation on here.
It
Um,
is. It
so
is.
yeah, yeah. So you could definitely hear it. Talk to me about how the beats for this album was crafted or the production was crafted. Was this something where he literally crafted it from scratch with your concept, or was it a batch of beats that you had to choose from and then he added like the live instrumentation over it? Like, walk me through how the production was created for this.
Word. I wish he was here so he could give you more insight on that and everything. But as of as working together with him on it, is a lot of it was from scratch as well. Well, for one, a lot of this stuff, is in all respects to him as a maestro, because of how he crafted it and composed a lot of that stuff. A lot of those songs, this will be the first time I'm gonna tell you, a lot of people might think those are no samples. These are him. He's
Beautiful.
no sample. This is him playing out a lot of the keys and pianos, those lush piano. That's him playing literally on the keys of light. That's him doing it, and a lot of different sounds are just him producing and stuff. And a lot of stuff from scratch, but a lot of stuff we work actually close knit for this. Like, he only stayed 10 minutes away now, so he coming back and forth a few times a week and stuff, and we for hours he set up here in the living room or something, and he just playing melodies, and we just going back and forth and like, yo, try this or do this and that. And then we get ideas, he go back home, and he like, yo, I touched up on this, and look, or it might have changed to a whole, it started one way, then he sent it to me later. I'm like, yo, you flipped it a whole different way. He's like, yeah, this, I think this works and stuff. Or he just be like, yo, check this out. That's how the intro, the last joint, um you should be watching and listening with the last songs to be made, because he just popped up with that joint, the first one you should be listening. And he was just like on the humble. He was just like, he was unsure of it. He was like, yeah, this is something I've been working on, man. Let me what you think about this? And he played it, and I'm like flipping out. I'm like, oh my God. I was like, this is crazy. He's like, yo, for real? I was like, yes. I was like, that's the intro. Right away, I was like, that's the intro. And I started spitting something to it that I had in mind, that I wrote for something else. It was one fully polished, but it was an idea. And he was like, oh, that's it. That's it. A lot of those songs were like that. Even like the soul, and you know the soul, we right here in the living room, and just like he's playing like, and I'm just we just jamming out. I was like, yo, the soul, yeah, the soul, yeah. And we going back and forth just jamming. A lot of those were just the energy, man. It was so much energy, especially after a crazy year. Ain't got to perform, everything was locked down and stuff. I had a lot to say on that album, and I feel like as an artist, as a producer as well, he had a lot to say as well through the musicality and stuff. So a lot of those beats chronicles him, like chronicle things he was going through as well.
Mm.
And what I'm saying, even one of those beats, or an old beat that he was messing with in high school, that his friends had a song to that wasn't serious or whatever. And he just like fully just revamped it, and then it turned into something crazy. So that's a lot of that came together from scratch, and from us jamming together and stuff like that. So this was supposed to be an EP. That we when we did this album, like the album been done, but like I think in like early 2020 it was finished. But it was just a quick EP. Like, we were just supposed to do a quick little EP of song. The songs that we started EP on ain't even on there. It fully became something else over time. And like, yo, are we gonna do a whole album? Before you know it, the album is just bigger than we even thought it was gonna be. It was like, yo, what have we done? This is something totally different and stuff like that. So yeah, Navo the Maestro is, really talented dude, man. That's my bro. He's amazing. A lot of the stuff he was coming up with, I was just like, what? This is nuts. And he's this is the beginning for him. Like, he did stuff in the past, but like as a full artist, like his career is really starting right now. So to start out on that type of like energy and like the product that he put out, whew, it's yeah.
Yeah.
Future's gonna be crazy.
You know, when you think about the album and you were just talking about the last couple of tracks that you recorded, and one of them being the opener tracks, that opener track just hits right away. And
Appreciate it.
I think probably you guys noticed that. And that's why y'all said that was it, or maybe he noticed it, and that would be the opener track. But you guys chose well in regards to the sequencing of the album because, with music, you kind of want the first track to pull you in. And you guys did that with the first three tracks. It's very light, fun, but soulful, So it just
Thank
really
you.
it
Thank you.
it's kind of difficult to describe it, but if I had to, I would say it's fun, but it sounds good. Like, it's like it's like boom bap fun. Like you
Word.
were saying earlier, like, it's the type of music that you could play amongst young people, right? Like it has that lightness to it, the good energy to it. So it leads me to my next question with the album title, Keys of Light.
Hmm.
Talk to me about what inspired this title.
Nice, man. Thank you for the compliments, by the way, of the album. That's what that's what we was going for. Was the first. It's funny that you said the first three songs because multiple people have said that the first three songs are even on Apple Music. That's the first time on any of my albums. Don aka Navo The Maestro hit me up. It was like, bro, when it dropped on album, he's like, man, yo, the first five tracks are favorite. It got stars on them. He's like, that's the first. I was like, what? I was just using like one track or two. It's like five, the first five. And we said that was like, yo, the first five, the first few, it's gonna be hard for them. A lot of them gonna be repeating that. It's gonna be hard for them to progress because we want to knock it out the park. The first few tracks, we want to knock it out. We want them it's to establish like what you're in for. You're not gonna want to leave. So you draw them in, and then by the second half of it gets real, So but you the question again, you said why we chose Keys of Light, or
Yeah, the title.
that because of it's been not just last year and the year before. It's been a lot of darkness out here, whether that's from the world, the news, all that stuff. I don't want to get into that. And artists, is music especially, you know what I'm saying, it's always a lot of darkness into the artistry that these dudes putting out, and people love to dismiss it and be like, oh, it's just art, they just being creative and they just being art. It's like, bro, why they art is always dark though? It's like, you're not going to question that. Why it's always like a lot of these songs ain't helping people. Like a lot of people, when they, everybody, are affected by music differently, different types of sounds and stuff like that. But a lot of the stuff is the same stuff, and it's the frequencies that they putting in it, and it just making people feel depressed. And like, if you feeling depressed and you just feeling down after the last couple of years, or like people that just got, that just ain't in a good place in life, and then they're listening to this dude that just got music full of just negative frequencies and what he's saying and the same old beats and stuff, it ain't helping them, man. It's just like the same old and stuff. So I was like, somebody gotta like kind of counteract that. It's like somebody has to counter that and provide a balance, because yeah, it's gonna be some dark times, but it gotta be the light too. You seeing more dark than light. So I was like, somebody gotta come with the light, especially in hip hop, because it's like, it's not cool to be light. It's not cool. It's always the dark stuff. It's just like, oh yeah, it's the cool, like it's the, it's like the emo kind of, I'm so this and that, I'm depressed, I'm this and that. It seemed like that's what's being pushed, especially on the youth. It's like they ain't got nobody to look up to or nothing. They ain't got nothing that's gonna make them feel better. Like, people went through like hell the last 2 years. So the music is an escape. People could go to music and they just like make them feel better. At least they can escape through the music. But if you ain't giving them nothing that's gonna help them, they ain't giving them no light or anything like that, they're gonna be in even worse than when they started, because they ain't really got nothing as kind of like a mental liberation or spiritual liberation. And so that's what we was like, yo, we're gonna represent what we want to provide to the world is the light. It's a lot of darkness. We want to provide the light. So also we're gonna give them keys of light, through like the keys, but also it's gonna be keys for the mind, body, and soul as well. So that's why you got a lot of things like breathe life, spread love, eat right, the keys of light, like different gems that's being, that we dropping for the people that's going to help them, that's full of light as well. And we wanted that light to just like, that's what we, had the way we rolled it out was mysterious with the different videos. And we had we had the story, we had like, different characters in the story. I don't know if you caught it, but like the first few posts before the album came out, it was like people didn't know what was going on. People thought like, like my page was hacked in it. Well, it was, but it was. So I had, it was, characters and story, tied into, the overall arch and theme that you know, we're trying to convey through the music and the stories. But we just wanted to be something that was going to be memorable. And it was like, once you get this light, you should spread it to others, because a lot of people is looking for that right now. A lot of people is like mentally distraught and just like they don't know how to get through it. Like you turn on the news and all this stuff and social media, like that's not helping them because it's nothing but fear and panic all the time. And it's just, division, arguments. There's this happened. It's just like never. It's just, it seems like it's never any light at the end of, so it's always just despair. This and that. Oh, this happened, death, this happened. Oh, let's argue about this, politics, this, that. So who's gonna come through with the light and be like, yo, just yeah, life can kind of suck, but we need to focus on your life right now. What can you do to better yourself? You should exercise, you should, what I'm saying, you should breathe life, you should watch what you pumping into your spirit as well. You should watch what you eating. You should watch the food for thought. You should watch what you putting into your mind, body, and spirit as well. And we don't seem like there's too, if there are dope, conscious artists out there that's trying to spread it, but the machine ain't gonna make sure that ain't gonna get out there. So somebody got to kind of push through no matter what and kind of fight against it. So that's what we was trying to do. Is like, yeah, we gonna step up and we gonna represent this. We gonna get the people some hope, some light, some love, and hopefully they spread it, and that light just engulf the darkness.
Hearing you explain that, it actually makes a lot of sense in terms of what we get with the music. And I want to thank you for taking you and Novel for taking such an inspirational and uplifting approach with the music,
Thank you.
because I do believe that hip hop needs that,
Thank you.
need to continue to put the uplifting, the inspiring music out there that, that makes a good impact on people's experience, their listening experience. Yeah.
Thank you, family. That's the thing. Like there, the the young generation and even the older generation and middle generation, every the people they follow the most besides like actors and stuff and celebrities are rappers, entertainers. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of these dudes, a lot of these entertainers, when I'm saying dudes, I'm saying in general, a lot of these dudes are just like, they're not, if these people are looking to you guys for inspiration and hope, not the same talking points over and over again, that the same narratives that you're supposed to follow. No, we talk about the real issues that people are going through and how they truly feel. And it needs somebody who's not going to just be another one of the drones out here following the same process. No, we're going to give you something that's real, that's not being said by these dudes. And so, because a lot of these dudes that you look up to, they're failing them. They're failing these people. They're failing the generation. They failing the youth. They're not giving them nothing insightful that they're going to leave and, think about and be like, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe I should look into this. Maybe I should try to better myself. And maybe I should, I shouldn't be on social media this much. Maybe I should go out there. Maybe I should read a book. Maybe I should walk. Maybe I should enjoy life, nature. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I should do some things like this because, like I said, a lot of these artists, they're not, they're not really giving the people anything like they're looking for. They're waiting for these artists to step up and be a leader, be a role model, be a real role model, not the same thing that everybody else is doing because everybody's doing the same thing. Somebody got to stand up and be like, I'm gonna go against the status quo and I'm gonna stand tall in what I believe in. I ain't gonna compromise. I'm gonna be different, and I'm gonna just give myself to the people. I'm gonna give them the music I want to meet, the message I want to give them as well, and hopefully it'll inspire them and help them, and they'll give that to somebody else. Or a lot of the youth, they gonna grow up on it. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
so that a lot of the entertainers, man, they got to step it up because they're the people. They have all this power and what you're just misleading them. You're misleading the sheep. That's all you do. You leading them to the wolves instead of giving them something that's going to help them out, and that's going to, they're going to be able to elevate off of and expand their mind state and raise their vibrations and everything like that. They not giving them that, man. They not, you know what I'm saying? So somebody gonna have to step up, and fight through. Already got to fight through the system. A lot of the social media platforms, like kind of like making sure your posts ain't seen like that or something like that. But if we posted something that was like just something goofy or something that was just like something negative, say for instance my little beef, my beef, just say for instance I was performing, somebody snatched that'll be everywhere. But
Mm.
say for instance we put out a song that's gonna be full of light, like a really dope song with some light, some love, and that's different and stuff. We gotta jump through hoops just to get it heard.
Hmm. You know, I'm gonna come back to that because that's a point I want to talk about a little later on. But I wanted to talk about your style as an MC, because you definitely have a persona, right? And I think it's a cool thing. You're very kind of sort of like eclectic but fun, and have like a really thoughtful style as an MC.
Thank you.
In your own words, however, because I don't want to, I don't want to paint the picture of who you are, right? This is just my observation. But in your own words, how would you describe your style and your intent as an MC?
I don't rap, I paint the sky blue.
You did say that a few times.
That's
And
but as a on a broader scale of it is, like I said, back to my name, like I want people going through some things to be able to turn my music on. Like you saying, the project is fun. That, you know what I'm saying, that's how you bring them in. You bring them in with catchy beats and stuff like that. And when I say catchy, we ain't talk about the hit songs out there that's catchy, because their catchy is different from our catchy, because the music that we're making doesn't sound like anything out. Even if it's boom bap, we still don't sound like all the other boom baps out there. We bring something different to the table, and that's what I want to show through my artistry, because I got boom bap, I got jazz, I got a whole album with DJ Ray made about going to space. We talk about going to space. It's a literal album. Every song is a different planet. And we talk about going to space and coming back and stuff.
that's
You know,
awesome.
a lot of people, as thank you, a lot of artists are not, afraid to try to take those kind of steps and try to like do something different, because
Yeah,
it's different. They're like, this ain't this song right here that got millions of views, so I'm gonna just copy this. And we, what I'm saying, we scraping and try to get the few thousands or whatever that we get, but we grateful for it, because those people are appreciative of the artistry and
absolutely.
the concepts, and thinking outside the box, in the music. What I'm saying, so many people are stuck in that box, and what I'm saying, we thinking outside of the box and bring us. That's what I want to do with my artistry, is like, when you see, say for instance, I got one of the songs is Tidbit. I got a song called SkyBlew Meets Bigfoot. Now, when people hear that song, I mean, when people see that title, my supporters are going to see it and be like, "Oh, this is about to be Sky would do that. This is going to be interesting." Anybody else would be like, "Bro, what? Like, what you, what? Like, what?" People are afraid to do that type of stuff. Then you hear the song, you're like, "Wow, okay, that makes so much sense." Is thinking outside the box. And as any artist, there's so many talented artists out there, not trying to discredit anybody, but we are blessed to be able to create something that stands against, most of them, because we're in a time where in hip hop where everybody just about sound the same, minus the underground guys that's holding it down. But if we talk about on the main, on a broader scale of artists, a lot of people sound the same, and they follow the same, same cadences, same flows, same beat patterns, same drums, same distorted 808 kick, the same stuff. You know what I'm saying? And our stuff ain't nothing like that. It was like, we gonna talk about the same thing. I ain't, we ain't gonna approach songs like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Navo was telling me, he was like, the other day we was outside talking about the album. He was just like, man, a lot of these beats I sent you, and we did, I would just kind of like, try to get an idea of how he would approach it. It was like every time you send it to, every time I hear it, it's nothing like I thought you would approach it. Like, because, I'm saying, approaching music, I have fun with music, man. Like, it's a painting, you know what I'm saying? Like Bob Ross, one of my favorite artists, the joy of creation, you know what I'm saying? It's creating something that's going to be beautiful and timeless. that when people see it, aka they hear it and see it, I say 3D paintings because they're gonna see the image as well, and they're gonna hear it, and it's gonna be something that's gonna be like, yo, I've never heard anything like this, and it's going to be memorable against all of them, but against most of them, what I'm saying? And that's why I want to do my music. I want to give them something that's going to be different and abstract. And there's so many different styles and varieties in it. Like I do jazz hop, I do boom bap. You can say it's conscious. I got some positive, like positive lyrics in there. I even got some spirituality in there with God and stuff like that. It's all combined into one. So that's why I say it's painting the sky blue, because it's a big picture full of different elements that you have to study, and they're all different, but yet they all contribute to the the final product or the picture, the image that we're trying to paint for the people, and how I want them to leave with the what I'm saying, with the message that was into the music and stuff. So that's what I want to do. We just want to give them music that's going to be that's going to that's going to be memorable, that you're going to remember, but also it's going to be something that's just so different where people could be like, yo, man, nobody else would have done that. We hear that all the time. Yo, nobody else would have done that. Even artists be like, bro, I wouldn't have done that. I don't know how you would approach that beat like that. Or I wouldn't even know how to approach that beat or even do that song concept. You know what I'm saying? Because we want to give people adventure. Me and Sublime Cloud got a sub, like my drum. One of my drummers is painting the sky blue. But when me and Sublime Cloud get together, we name our subgenre adventure music, because we
Mm.
make music for people to go on adventures on. You got to get up, go out there, go explore, go do something, go follow your dreams and stuff. We got the soundtrack for that. You know what I'm saying? So we doing different things for different situations, but all in all, it's for people to dream. It's for the dreamers out there. It's for the people that know there's more to life than the status quo and the norm. For people that want to be different, that it's okay to be different. We all are different. Not being, of course, people, that's like the thing now, being super woke and all that, being different. But no, being different isn't like all what I'm saying, the picture that they paint all the time. There's many elements to being different. It ain't the same talking points all the time. Being different can, it could be the way you dress, it could be the way you think, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people scared to think differently because the hive mind say think this way, and
Mm.
this is the way you have to think. So people are scared to be themselves, to speak up, or to try different things. The hive mind can also be in hip hop, because these guys are giving millions of views to this song that sounds like this song that sound like that song. But yet they're in the comments making it seem like they're all different, but it's not. It's the same thing. And that's why I want my music for when it's going to do what it's going to do, because once it does what it does, it's going to show people. Well, no, I'm blessed to even get this far in my music. Don't get it confused. I'm very appreciative of all the people, my family that's been listening to my music and support me over the years. I'm saying, like, as we get bigger with it, I ain't trying to be a star. I'm just trying to, get, of course, a little more recognition. When that happens and stuff, it's gonna show a lot of other aspiring artists that, man, it's dope. You could keep it, you could stay true to yourself. You could do something that's totally against the norm, and it's gonna work. You could be positive. You could be different. You could have a colorful sound. You could try different instruments in your music, like a lot of different sounds. You could approach songs differently. You could try different flows, different variations, cadences, all kind of stuff. You could try it, and it's okay to do that because it's going to work. But if long as it's able to be boxed in, as if the powers that be are able to kind of like keep you constricted in this little area, then it's, people like, I don't know if I want to try that as much as they may want to. I don't know, because it ain't working. I might just have to go here and do this. You know what I'm saying? So that's what.
Wow. I feel like the winter hat that you're wearing with the air flaps and the strings have become sort of like your signature wear.
Mhm.
Even in like the animated images of yourself, right? On the artwork, how like it feels like it's part of you, right? It's like part of your branding in sort of a way. Like, how did that begin to take on sort of your branding, like that the hat that you're wearing right now?
Man, I'm gonna keep this one short and sweet. The this this hat, quote unquote, like, notice this hat. It may be a little more to it than than meets the eye. That's all I'm gonna say. It may be a little more to it. It might be more than just a hat, you know. And if you've been, those that's been paying attention to certain albums, you may notice certain things, certain way of titles worded, or the lore in certain things. This hat, when we came together, everything changed. I'd never expected, this to be, like my image, and to be like a logo for me. But it just happened because it was just destiny for it to happen. And then it just went beyond what I even imagined. You know what I'm saying? I really never thought that this would happen. Actually, it's crazy. So once this happened, once people started drawing it, like once I was like, oh, this is crazy. Okay. And then that's when I started coming up with a little more to the story, you know.
Interesting, interesting. So you said people started drawing it.
Yeah, people started doing artwork for me and stuff like that, and like
Okay.
doing like fan pictures and stuff, and drawing me in the hat. Before I started wearing it a whole lot, at that point I was only wearing it like little bit, and I was like, oh, that's a thing. I just like to wear it. I was like, oh, this is, I just like to wear it. Then that's once it got a mind of its own, then things started to change.
Indeed, indeed. So, man, let's it's like we already an hour in. I haven't even got to the music specifically. Let's go to that actually. So, man, all right, Leah, let's just go into some of the music. So the first song on the album, entitled "You Should Be Listening,"
hmm
you start off by saying that they're still sleeping on you. I guess certain potential fans and certain people in the music industry, I think is who you're talking about. What about your music career has caused you to think that your music and art is being slept on?
Um, because there's a lot of different like I said, I'm blessed to get any accolades that I've gotten on my own. Just work hard to get them. It seems like it's just been like a lot of, it's like been mountains. I've been climbing mountains my whole career thus far. And for a lot of people, it came more easy to them. And there's still a lot of things that will come up in my area in North Carolina, different things like that, different festivals or different events and stuff, and they don't call me for it. But everybody else is like, yo, why do y'all always overlook him? Like he's not there doing this stuff. And this is my fam saying it. This is, of course, me saying it. And is, saying people that I work with too, is just like, bro, really? And it's like I got to the point of expecting them to do it, but I still work. I'm gonna work regardless. But I was expect, oh, this is coming. Yeah, I'm sure they're not gonna call me for it. And lo and behold, and local media like that, they don't show no love. You know what I'm saying? Like we'll throw dope events that we'll put together. I've been and put good, like, what I'm saying, a lot of ideas and stuff. Me and my team, shout out to my girl Ivy, shout out to my brothers and everything. Like we'll be, what I'm saying, like I'm talking props and everything, like doing dope stuff for the show. It ain't just like, oh, we on stage performing. No, we got a whole performance put together. We giving out prop. We doing all kind of stuff. And it's just like nobody's getting behind that besides, our friends and a few of the fam that would come. Certain shows will be, got a great turnout. Certain shows wouldn't. And it just seemed like locally not getting that love. And then in the scene of hip hop in general, it just seems like I'm more the outcast. I don't know. Is the outcast? Is it because of how different my music is? So it seems like, man, they why they sleeping, like, and it be shadow. It be like people watching from the shadows because they watching and
Mm.
stuff because the numbers are there. So like in the public eye, they won't say it, but say they are. And then when you see them, that's when they like, oh man, yo, that new thing you dropped and stuff, yo, that's crazy. Or this song like that. I'm like, bro, I didn't even know that you heard this or something like that. And that's the benefit of knowing of like all my, what I'm saying, my fam that supported me over the years. I know them just about, like, we've had interactions. I respond to them. We talk in DMs, or I respond to their comments on Facebook, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and stuff. So I know these people. So a lot of these people that come out of the woodworks, when I announce something big that I'm doing, like, oh, my music is in this or something like that, in a video game or something, then they just pop up, which is
Oh,
support, which is awesome.
they always
But
come at that point.
bro. What?
You always
We talk about this all
never
the time.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then and it's like, yo, where you been at? It's like I know these people. I know my fam. Like I know them. They're family for a reason. They're not fans. They're my family. I know them. We built a relationship to, you know what I'm saying, through this music. So, and it seems like, just getting slept on. And then it seems like also when I do stuff like this album, which is, it's probably, one of my biggest projects already, and it just came out, which is a blessing. But it's like I notice people are pointing out more of the songs in certain things, like, yo, you was snapping here or this right here. And then I'm like, that's dope. But I got songs and albums in the past where I was doing the same thing. If we talk about lyricism and the writing, we
Right.
been writing like this, and y'all just ain't really, sometimes it's dope to get support, but sometimes you want more than a fire emoji, or you want more than just oh, that's a dope song. Sometimes you want them to point out like, oh, yo, this line you said, or this cadence, or this wordplay here. And it seems like that's get overlooked a lot. And
Mm,
they just get caught up in the song, like, yo, this is a dope song and stuff. So then when they talk about like lyricism and stuff, we don't really get bought up like that. And it's like, yo, they still sleeping. So they sleeping on that, but they also sleeping in the world. Like we in the wokest generation that we in, but yet they sleepwalking out here because you pick and choose what you woke about. Well, we ain't gonna talk about it. Yeah.
yeah. You know, I have to ask you, and I think I alluded to this earlier. Like you've been putting out music since 2014, to my knowledge.
Yeah, even before that, I've been dropping
Yeah,
music since
that's why I said, to my
2010.
knowledge,
Mhm.
I don't think I've been able to go further back than that. But I mean, it's been a long time, nevertheless,
Mhm.
right? And like I said, you've been putting out projects every year, and most of the time it's an actual album. Like even
Mhm.
this album is like 17 tracks. Like you put out,
Yeah.
you know, you put out LPs, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and so I wanted to ask you, like, how have you been able to stay consistent and just really keep putting out quality year after year? Like, what has been the motivation for you to keep that momentum?
I think it's you know how bad I want this. When I'm talking about touring, traveling the world, I see it's one of those things, man, where I talk about it with my brothers and stuff. Is we all see the same thing. We all know that. I'm like right here. It seemed like the last few years has been like right here. It seemed like one little thing that happened, and that's gonna be the thing that's gonna push it out. But it seemed like can't reach over that. They can't pass that threshold for some reason. So that
Mm,
kind of like plays your mind because every day you wake up waiting for that email or that call that's going to be life changing
mm,
because the music is there. I created an image that nobody else has in a sound that's hard to find. So technically, I'm marketable. You know what I'm saying? And this is humbly speaking, but like
right.
I got stuff, but I don't want to be signed to a major label. But I'm just saying somebody that can come along that can help. That can put a little something behind us
I get it.
that
I
can get us.
understand.
You know what I'm saying? So knowing that and like dang, it's just like it still ain't happening. You know what I'm saying? I'm visualizing being in Japan and different countries and seeing at night the city lights and stuff and the neon signs. I point that out because I talk about that in music. Like it's something small, but it's something that I look forward to because I want to travel. I want to see these places and still being in a position where you put out all these albums and do all this stuff and it seemed like nothing really sparked besides like what it does with the supporters, and that's awesome and stuff. But it's like ain't really getting those opportunities and stuff, and that's something that fueled me. Like it's like, yo, I gotta fight harder in the storms, obstacle, gotta overcome that and still gotta push. And I guess it's because of just how bad I want this dream. I want it so bad. Like I know what I'm put here to do. And it's here. It's to make this music. It's to touch these people out here. When I go on the road and I'm performing and like and I'm touring and stuff, and I meet people, what I'm saying, that's hugging me for like 5 minutes and crying, saying my music did something for them. Like, yo, it helped me do this. It saved my life. Literally.
Mm,
Stuff like that is like, okay, that makes all the hard work. It makes all the blood, sweat, and tears. That makes it worth it. Because this is the end game. This is what you want to do right here. You want to do this. consecutively around the world, though. More people, different cultures, different backgrounds and stuff, hearing the music. I got people that listen to me all over the world, bro. And some of those people listen to the music first, and they just enjoy the music, hear like the energy, the frequencies, the sounds, and it just make them feel good. And then when they hear the lyrics, they be like, I knew this was I knew it had some good lyrics. I knew it. They didn't even know what the lyrics were saying. They just knew how the song sounded, and it made them feel. It was like, I knew this was the reason I like this song. And then, you know what I'm saying? And then people talking to me through Google Translate and stuff like that, just because how my music is affecting them. And that's the type of stuff that keeps me going, because I'm pushing through all these obstacles and all these forces that want to stop me, but you can't stop the light. You know what I'm saying? And all these artists out here that's just doing the same old, man, like the same old, like it's the same thing over and over again. So I was just like, somebody got to kind of fight through it. So that keeps me going, thinking about my grandma, thinking about what God put me here to do. You know what I'm saying? Thinking about how much I love music. I love it. This is what I do. That's why every album sounds different and it sounds fun. Like you said, it sounds fun because I'm literally having a good time. Like, I enjoy music. I love it. It's the best thing. It's the biggest tool to the subconscious, to the spirit, everything like that. So that's why music is so important. So that's why you got to be real careful of what you put into your mind and when you put into your spirit as well. So that's all of that is tied into. That's what keeps me going.
Wow, well said, man.
Thank you.
So back to the song, You Should Be Listening. You have a line on there where you say your relationship with music is like Yumchi, real cool rapport. What is
Oh,
Yumchi or Yumchi? I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right.
okay. So you'll be the first that I break that down for. So it's Yamcha. So
Okay,
real
I'm
cool
so sorry,
rapport.
I said it the wrong way.
Oh,
Yumchai.
yeah,
I knew
you all good.
as I'm reading, I'm like, man, I probably got this pronunciation wrong, but
Oh,
you
oh,
get it
it's
now. Yeah.
so Yamcha is a character from Dragon Ball Z, and he is best friends with a cat named Poor. That's like his best friend is a cat. It floats around and stuff. It talks and stuff. And so that was a punchline and wordplay, because I was like, uh, shooting for the stars. I've been running up the score. My relationship with music, Yamcha, real cool with Poor. So I built a good rapport with the sounds and the sonics and the music. I love it, like I said. But I'm saying, so real cool with Poor, rapport. So real cool rapport. So that's the
Oh,
well,
I
kind of
get it.
like wordplay, kind of like dragging it a little bit. So my relationship with music, Yamcha, real cool rapport.
Wow. Okay.
The Dragon Ball Z fans know that one.
But no,
They
yeah.
heard it, was like,
So I'm not.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a Dragon Ball Z fan like that. You know
Oh,
that. Like
it,
I messed up.
oh,
And I
it's
wrote it
all good,
down.
bro.
So as I'm referring to it, I'm like, I'm like, man, I'm probably gonna butcher the title. So it's Yum Chai, right? I
Yeah,
got it.
Yamcha. So like
Oh,
YMCHA. So like Yamcha.
Yum Chai, got it. But
Yeah,
thank you
all
for
good.
doing that. On the hook of the song Light Switch, you say, like this light switch, life is priceless.
Priceless.
You say it again, and then you say, hit the light switch if you need a life switch. What is the significance of those lines?
Oh, okay. Well, actually, it's hit the light switch if you need a light switch.
Oh, a light switch. Okay,
So,
got it. Thank you.
oh, it's all good. But it's like, so I'm like, once again, so the album starts off, you know what I'm saying? It's like this is a, you know what I'm saying, exclusive. Like the album starts off is dark. So, you know what I'm saying, as a story standpoint, we go from light to dark and then back and forth. That's why you can listen to, you should be watching, you can listen to it back to front or front to back. So if you
Yeah.
listen to it front to back, then it's dark right now. So you need some light. So right now, you know what I'm saying, you can't see nothing. So you should be listening. So that's why you should be listening comes in.
Mm.
And then when light switch comes, click the lights on. So now you're shining. So now you still
So
should be listening, but now we got to help you when the dark tries to come back. So that's why that's why I got certain. So like the light stops shining sometimes. So like you're gonna get to the point where the dark is gonna try to creep up in there, but now this is the blueprint, this is the manual right here to help you get through that. So then when you get to you should be watching, now that you know you should be listening, you should be paying attention to your surroundings as well. So now when you re-listen to it, you're listening and watching. And so that's why if you hit the light switch, if you need a light switch, so if you need like a light, so like when somebody say like, oh no, that's light right there, like yo, you killed that, like, something light. So
Yeah.
something light. So that was like a play off a light. So it was like if you need something different, hit the light switch. If you need a light switch, right
Right.
this right quick for the night shift. So it's to help you through the people that's out in the dark, that's trying to, the light bear that's trying to work through the dark. They're trying to help, you know what I'm saying? So this is going to help you. So that's why
Wow.
that's in that song.
Yo, that's so dope how you broke that down. And
Thank
I was gonna get to ask you about the change up of the vibe of the album. I think around track 10, it starts to get a little bit more slower and deeper.
you. Hmm.
And it makes sense now with the whole light switch being flicked on because it's deeper and darker, as you say. So wow, like the album just came out, so I didn't really get a chance to soak it up as complete as I would like to as of yet. But now I'm gonna go back and listen with that concept in mind. So that's
Word,
really
word.
dope that you shared that. Um, yeah. So the next question I wanted to ask you is in regards to the track "To the Max." You have a line on there where you say, "You're young but an old soul." Where do you think you got that description or persona from? Being young but also old soul.
Um, because a lot of people have said that, like, for me being younger, and it'd be like, for one, they see that and hear like what I say in my music, or like my taste in music. Like I like jazz and the Billie Holidays and stuff like that, and like the soulfulness, and like the even the 90s rap and all that stuff like that. And I was a baby during that time, but it's it was just always something that gravitated to. So it's different things that I like that'll be like most people your age wouldn't like this or like that. You would like the current stuff, and I was just like, nah, I like this. So no, this is what I like right here and stuff, and that's partially because of my grandma playing jazz and old Christian music and gospel and like soul and blue. Even when I was staying with my mom before foster care, my stepdad was playing Tupac and Tribe and Nas and stuff like that. So I was
Mhm.
hearing that at a young age and stuff, playing Isley Brothers, Marvin Gaye,
Mm.
what I'm saying, Ella Fitzgerald, stuff like that. And like I'm hearing it and I'm like, I enjoyed it as a kid, but as I got older, I had appreciation for it because I understood it. I just know how it made me feel. So I took all that from my past, and I'm a 90s baby. I love the 90s, you know what I'm saying? Like, people say I'm like a product of the 90s anyway, of how like, how I approach music and, the style and expressiveness and, you see all the colors and stuff like that. So I bought all that into who I am today. So it's like what I'm saying, I got like an old soul from the past, what I'm saying, but yet I'm still young. So that's where that came from.
Definitely, definitely. And I could tell that. I could, when you listen to your music and just the things you talk about, even just the type of music that you choose to rap over, like it sounds like, some of what our OG MCs would rap over, especially like you said, the 90s. Me coming from the East Coast, I definitely hear the boom bap and the soul a lot. So on the song Three Paintings IMAX, you have a line where you say, "No competitor is better than the cherisher of character." And I wanted to ask you to explain the deeper meaning behind that line.
Nice, nice. Oh yeah. So like no competitor is better than the cherisher of character. They dread it like the predator. For me to realize I'm ahead of you, all that's connected. Because it's like, for one, uh, it's like anybody, like any enemies, whether that's MCs or it's like, what I'm saying, any negative energy that's going to be against somebody that has character, that stands for something, that somebody who cherishes character, cherishes integrity, not compromising, standing for what you believe in. and being an individual and not another one of these zombies out here, or one of these clones, mannequins and stuff. So the world on the broader scale, they don't want that. They don't want individuality. They want you to follow the system. They want you to be in line with everybody else. So that was that. So they, no, no competitors better than the cherisher of character. That was just saying, coming into who I am, like, this is who I am. This is what I represent. So I'm, what I'm saying, I'm coming into, what I'm saying, my true being of who I am. So that's why I was like, no competitor is better than a cherisher of character. They dread it like the predator. They dread that. They dread for you to come into two of who you are, your true, what I'm saying, true enlightenment and true belief in yourself, your true, your true form. Then they dread it like the predator for me to realize I'm ahead of you, rather have me second guessing myself, but we already up. That was just a, something light right there, like on the humble, but it's still like every now and then you got to put that little, that little spice in there to show them like, look, what I'm saying, I am the underdog, and what I'm saying, I'm still trying to do my thing and stuff, but every now and then, I'm gonna stand up and be like, yo, we do this too now, we really out here, what I'm saying. So that was like a little bit of that, like, yo, at the end of the day, what I'm saying, they may try to underrate us and overlook us and stuff, but what I'm saying, we still gonna let it be known that, yo, we are somebody that, that I'm somebody that stands for something. And on the music tip as well, like, I hold my own on this music thing as well. So that was just all that was connecting and saying, then the cherisher of character, I'm somebody that cherishes, character, integrity, and being yourself, individuality, and not following the status quo and the norm and stuff. So that's what that is. And also for me to realize I'm ahead of you. They want me to, they want people like me to feel like, I'm inadequate to all these dudes out here because they got millions of views and followers, and they can just put something out that's gonna get seen instantly. So if they feel like the machine is pushing them, so they want you to feel like people like us are like the lower class. They want us to feel like we're not gonna get that attention, so we're not equal to them, or we're not, we don't deserve, we don't belong there, but we do.
Dope explanation, man.
Thank you.
So you have a song called "Paying My Dues." I really like the singing on it. It makes the track very memorable too.
Dope,
Uh,
dope.
how do you define paying your dues? What does it look like for you in your career?
Yeah, another dope question, fam. So first, shout out to my bro Donovan Harrell, one of my brothers that's doing the singing on that track as well, and a little surprise vocals from Autumn in there as well. So the fam they'll know the Autumn reference, but um paying my dues is, I guess, a lot of the stuff that I, I was saying early, but also, a lot of my show, I'm saying, doing the shows that we was doing, working hard, like putting together skits and stuff at the shows, and like, I'm saying, putting together this album. Like, if you, for the people that may not listen to the album on Bandcamp, I would hope you did, because Bandcamp treat the artists way better than Spotify and them. But if you will see every song description, if you click on the song, you see in the description more story, more lore into the story. So each song has a little description and different, tidbits that adds to the story. And we've done that the last few projects. Like, we've been telling whole stories as well as the album in there. So we're writing stories as well. So that's something that's paying dues. That's, that we feel like it kind of get overlooked, but it's cool because we're paying dues. Somebody out there catching that. And then, doing the shows, what I'm saying, where um I'm just, like, bought up for like 5 minutes or something like that, or like, it seems like somebody that's not as good as you is getting all the shine and stuff like that. So you just gotta, hopefully they'll rock with you and stuff like that, getting that 5-10 minutes up there, or like, seeing somebody that's doing a show that ain't, you know they're half of what you're doing or something like that, but they getting all the praise locally, the newspaper behind all that stuff. But you putting all this work into these albums and the concepts and all this stuff, and it just kind of get like, overlooked and stuff. That's paying dues. And what I'm saying, like, touring and stuff. And what I'm saying, I'm still, blessed to even get on those shows, but wait, ready to get to the point where I could, doing my own headlining tour where the people be there knowing my words and stuff. And luckily, as time progressed, as we toured, it was more people at the shows as well to start, that knew who I was and knew lyrics and stuff. But it's still, still like I'm still trying to fight to get, to get known. So I ain't really had my time in the sun yet. You know what I'm saying? I've had little sprinkles of it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm still kind of out here. As much albums as we got and the musicality of it and the concepts and all that, you would think it'll be bigger than what it is. You know what I'm saying? But it's still, I'm still kind of like fighting for crumbs, and it's kind of crazy. Most people would have gave up. We talk about this all the time, but I want this too bad. I know what I'm here to do, but it's like I'm still paying dues,
Mm,
and going back to doing open, when was doing, started with doing open mics and teen centers, doing all kind of stuff. I paid a lot of dues, bro. You know a lot of the stuff of like videos you see, we edit our videos, minus the, when I do get videographers and stuff, but a lot of the videos I put out on YouTube, we editing ourselves. You
mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? We making the covers, and when Ivy Okami is like drawing the artwork and stuff, we do a lot of stuff ourselves. We doing this stuff here. You hear the music, you would think we're in a big studio, because our sound shot to Brian Kidd. He's an excellent engineer, and he engineered our last few albums, and they sound crisp and stuff. But we hear at the crib recording it in the room and stuff, and
Mm,
that energy there, you would think we just hearing that. We, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And that's paying dues. And paying dues is like, putting out a video that's really dope, and it takes a few months to even crack 1,000 or something like that, when it's worth more than that, but you blessed to even get the reception that it is getting. But that saying there's more that it can do. I feel like that's paying dues. It's like, yo, don't worry, the time is gonna come when they're gonna be behind it and stuff, and putting out an album. Where shout out to media like you that reached out, that want to interview us and stuff. That's awesome. I'm truly grateful and stuff. It should be like, more attention, you would think, you know what I'm saying, but it ain't really like that, you know what I'm saying, minus the supporters. At least they're listening to it and stuff. So we like, that's paying dues, man. Just still paying dues, doing what you got to do, because one day it's going to be where it's supposed to be.
yeah. Nah, I definitely hear you, man. You know, you've definitely had to keep keep finding ways to continue to be motivated, because it could be, it could be a little disappointing after all of these years, but keep doing your thing, man.
Thank you.
The
Thank you,
beautiful thing
family.
is that your supporters are recognizing, and hopefully with this video, the little that it can do, or whatever it can do to get out to more people, hopefully that benefits you. Um,
I'm thankful.
yeah, indeed. The track chess moves. I want to ask you a question in regards to that. What would you consider as the best chess move you learned to make as an artist navigating through this industry of music?
Um, Man, what a great question. Um, I will have to say, thinking, thinking a couple of moves ahead and stuff, because I know a lot of artists chase the wave, so they chase what's popular and stuff. I don't. We make music that we want to make, and that's the type of stuff that will be timeless. Because I got songs that came out years ago that's just now taking off.
Mm,
But a lot of these dudes, they're prisoner of the moment. So they chase something that's the current sound, like, yo, this is what's popping right now. So I'm gonna ride this. And then when that's done, that microwave era, when that's done, then what? You're like, oh, I gotta find the next thing. And a lot of dudes fade up into obscurity because they was chasing a wave. I learned to like stay true to who we are. You know what I'm saying? Making, like, that's why it says, uh they rather keep me under the radar. They shook, but little did they know I've been making chess moves, because they don't know what I'm doing. But every time, far as the blessings that I do receive, I pop up and be like, yo, our music is in a video game or something like that. And they didn't even know it was coming.
yeah, yeah.
So working behind the scenes and stuff. So they think like, oh, we ain't heard from him. So, oh yeah, he probably gave up or something like that. We just pop up with a new album and something like that. And they're like, bro, dang, really? I was like, that's a chess move, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's one of the best moves right there that I learned, is just like staying true to who we are. Don't really let them know what you got in your plans. Like, that's why people say I'm mysterious, because I'm not on social media that much, so you don't know what I be doing until I pop up and be like, oh, what, man, you always up to something. That's it's unpredictability. That's where I was like, being unpredictable. You never know what we're gonna do. Like I said, we dropped the album that was we was in space like 2 years ago. My last album before this was me and Sublime Cloud. We made a musical manga. Like literally, it's a musical manga. It is the anime itself, and it's a soundtrack, and
Mm.
all that. Nobody's done that, and so it's just being unpredictable and stuff, and also not getting caught up in. I think another important move I learned is not getting caught up in what's going on around you. Like that's why I end the song with saying black and white feuds got me bored. Such a yawn, because real kings understand it's the land of the pawns. So they're knowing like the little people, the underdogs, they run this world, not these so-called kings and queens that run and pull the strings and stuff. Eventually they're gonna get overthrown and the pawns are gonna be in positions of power. So knowing that, yeah, they look at us in this kind of status, that's how they look at us, but we're powerful because there's more of us.
Indeed, indeed. The track Holographic Mewtwo. Um, Tell me why you chose to title it that. And also in regards to the subject matter, the subject matter is sort of like it's like a thought-provoking track where you're sort of
Yeah.
responding to some of the current political and social challenges. So talk to me about the title and why it was fitting to attach that title to that type of subject matter in the song.
Word. Um, so for people that know, you familiar with Pokemon?
Yes, definitely.
So word. So Mewtwo.
Yes, yes.
So
I
the
didn't notice that connection, but yes, I'm familiar with that character. Yes.
word of what, shout out to my brother Classic, man, who blessed that verse. He's a super dope MC out of Canada. He's awesome. So
Yeah, he did a dope job on that track too. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
absolutely. He's super nice. So I approached the title of naming it that because I titled it first because I knew how I wanted to come across on this song. And so this is a exclusive as well of explaining that song because Mewtwo, for people that know him, I looked at it like, how would Mewtwo look at the state of the world? Because if you watch the movies and stuff, you would know like his theories on things and how he views things. It's not normal. Like he really breaks stuff down, and he's very, very insightful, actually. So like Mewtwo is like he has a higher way of thinking about things, and I wanted to approach a song like that. Would you approach the song like just your ordinary like person that just follows everything they're being told and fed, or would you approach it as somebody that looking at the bigger picture of everything? Like, yo, I'm not everything that ain't black is white. There's a middle gray area that you need to look at as well of how we got here, and that's how I want to look at the song. I want to have the same talking points that everybody has. I want to have like, yo, this is what's being overlooked. We're talking about this. Why we ain't talking about this? You telling them on social media more things to be afraid about and to be mad at each other about. And I'm trying to tell you how you need to step outside for a little bit and get some fresh air. Actually, take some time away from the internet, actually, because that could be infectious to your mental health. Take a break once in a while. Find time for self. Know yourself and know what you're here for. Because being alive is a blessing. A lot of people don't realize that. So that's why I approached that song like that because of how I feel like Mewtwo would approach it. So I got in my Mewtwo bag, but
Mhm.
also a holographic Mewtwo because you shine and we still talking about light. And I was talking about painting images already. So this is a 3D image. Holographic is basically almost 3D and it got the shine to it too. So it's a mixture of both of them. So it's mixing that holographic Mewtwo and also holographic Mewtwo's was rare. It's still rare. Now you go online, you're gonna pay a little bit to get a holographic Mewtwo. And
Mhm.
if you had a holographic Mewtwo in high school, you was the man. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it should be looked at now, instead of looking down on some people that's looking that looks at things on a different perspective, that doesn't follow the norm and stuff. That should be something that should be honored, and that's something that is rare. It's rare to see that. So the free thinkers, that's something that's rare. So that's how we're approaching it, as this state of mind is rare. And if more people were to have that state of mind, you could be as rare as us. We're all together. If you were to have this type of thinking, the way you look at things like this, and how you kind of like expanding your mind state and everything, expanding your mind on things, you will have that holographic Mewtwo state of mind, and that is rare, and that's something that you should cherish if you do think like that. Ironically, the Matrix is coming out again.
So moving right along, the track "Breathe Life, Spread Love, and Eat Right." You have a line on there where you say
Mm.
they dumb down the listeners. Like I know you don't say they, but I'm just using it for
Yeah.
context, right? But yeah, they dumb down the listeners, make them easier to persuade, while media rarely giving the conscious artist play, but play a track of yours and watch a flashback to a time before lyricism fell through the cracks. You go on to say some other things, but I just wanted to highlight that part. Uh, I raised the question on the show the other day that I asked, why is conscious hip hop so difficult to celebrate? From your own experience as an artist, sometimes taking the conscious lyrical approach, how would you answer that question? Why is conscious hip hop so difficult to celebrate?
Um, I'm a let me say if I'm a if how will I approach this, because I could go at it one way, or I can get my Huey Freeman on real quick. Well, if we talking about hip hop in the black community, you know what I'm saying, we uh we won't have the jails filled up if we had law abiding citizens, for one. And most of the time when dudes about to commit crimes or do something crazy, they playing music, and it usually ain't no conscious music, for one. They about to drive by, you about to go do this, where your location at? They on Instagram, where your location at? Usually rappers, where your location at and stuff. They got some non-conscious music playing and stuff like that. So like I said, music is a tool to the subconscious and the soul and the spirit. You could go to sleep thinking about a certain song. You can wake up thinking about a certain song. You can have a whole different mood when you wake up because of that, what you pumping into your spirit and stuff. If you're pumping negativity consistently in those negative frequencies, you're not going to be happy in life. You're going to have terrible days. You're just going to feel kind of miserable. You're going to feel down, not even know why. And conscious music is the antithesis of that. You know what I'm saying? It's like you give them something. I feel like a lot of times the hospitals in this, I'm gonna say in this perspective, like hospitals and stuff, they don't profit off of healthy people. If you ain't got nobody being sick, you know what I'm saying, how you gonna make your money? So if you're giving them food for thought consistently, you giving them consciousness and stuff like that, before you know it, people gonna start to realize who they are. Not just black, all people. We're gonna start to realize, our higher beings and our higher selves. And like, yo, that's much more than we're kings. We'll, you know what I'm saying? Like, keep us in the projects mentally. You know what I'm saying? Dumb down the listeners. Keep giving them the same stuff over and over again. The same songs, same concepts, the same, I'm shooting at a op. They in the videos with the guns, fake money, and stuff like that. Broke by their label, but you'll see online and make it seem like they balling when they not. And then you see that all, and you glorify that lifestyle. That's what you know what I'm saying. You dumb them down. So the more they listen to that and stuff, when they hear something that's like the opposite of that, they're like, nah, because these dudes over here making money and they popping. So this is what needs to be heard. This is what we gonna gravitate to. If the consciousness was put it up on a pedestal, minus, like Kendrick and Cole is like two people, minus that, they like, oh well, at least we gave you Kendrick and Cole. I feel, you know what I'm saying? It was like, nah, it could be more than that too. Shout out to them, but you know what I'm saying, you can't just give us two, like, yo, but that's just like dude say, well, I got a black friend, it's just like, yeah, dude, like, yeah, they're dope, but like, there could be more, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, long as you keep giving them that same stuff, then they're not going to realize who they are. They're not going to realize that music can be different because they heard this. And I've had companies I've worked for that I've done music for that have told me, and it was surprising even hearing that. It was just like, man, I didn't even know this type of music existed. I've been looking for something like this. To hear that consecutively, people saying like, yo, I didn't even know this type of music existed. That's crazy. That just shows how oversaturated the market is with this specific type of sound of music. And I say hip hop because I hold us to a higher standard because of how we created hip hop and what it was for. It was for the disenfranchised. It was for, you know what I'm saying, to tell the stories of their neighborhoods. And now dudes be talking about, yeah, we only make, yeah, we make this drill stuff, we make this and that because we talk about what we going through and stuff like that. That's an excuse. If you're doing that every single song, are you actually trying to shed light to it? Or are you actually glorifying it? You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like if you keep them following that, you got more dudes at odds. You got them killing each other. You got them, you know what I'm saying, going to jail. You know what I'm saying? They just, you know what I'm saying, they just distraught and just bringing themselves down, bringing their vibrations down, lowering their, you know, their mind states and everything like that. But if you got somebody that's trying to give them some consciousness and food for thought, you're just like a person that keep eating fast food all the time. You try to give them something wholesome and stuff, they body might actually reject it. They already mentally rejected it because they've been eating this nonstop. So they're like, I don't want that. It's like a kid eating vegetables. I want McDonald's. I don't want this. That's the same parallel to conscious music and stuff. So you keep the listeners down, you know, you kill their brain cells, you let them listen to that all the time. When they hear something different, they don't even know how to accept it. They're like, yeah, I don't know about this, because that's what oversaturates the game. It make them feel like that's not cool. It's like, nah, that's not it right here. This is what it got to be. So make them easier to persuade, and then, you know, media rarely give it a conscious artist play because they feel like they ain't profiting off of that. They profiting off our downfall and stuff. And it's the people that's behind the scenes that's actually making it seem like they support us. It's like, oh, we part of the movement and all this stuff like that. But yeah, they pumping money into people that's making songs with guns in the ops. We talking about the ops, and I'm gonna kill this dude and all that. You know what I'm saying?
Man, definitely deep, man. Deep, deep. It's just, it's a subject that, you know, you could go to so many different layers with, man.
That's a
But I
fact.
thank you for sharing. So on the beginning of the track, the concept of love, you asked the question, what is love to somebody who grew up without it? How were
Mm.
you able to get to a place of understanding what love is, even though you might have not grown up with it? Like, what moment or experiences helped to define love for you, you know, in your, I guess, your experience of becoming an adult?
That's dope. Um, I would have to say you had a, you know, I've had a wall up, you know what I'm saying? And I talk about that in my music in the past of having this wall up because I was just down for so long, and coming up as a kid was alone all the time, and foster home to home, didn't know what love is, didn't had no family. You going from home to home and going from Presbyterian homes and group homes and stuff like that. So you don't feel like you don't have nobody, just you by yourself. So when you finally get to a point of having somebody who may actually love you, you don't really realize it. And sometimes you don't realize it till it's gone. You know, every now and then you realize, I realize my grandma loved me, and a few other people may have loved me. I might not know at the time, but later you like, yo, they actually loved me. And I think that relates to a lot of people, because a lot of people may not know love because they came up in the same situation that I did. They was loners. They felt like the world was against them. They felt like they had nothing to offer the world. It felt like you felt like nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's times I felt like nobody and nothing, and still do sometimes. But you know what I'm saying? That's just, you know, your mind messing with you, and you know what I'm saying, that dark trying to get to you. But you know what I'm saying? It's actually getting around people who love you, your family, your friends, your loved ones and stuff. You know, I'm blessed to have got to this point of people that's in my life that I know they want my well-being, they love me. And so now I'm able to be like, oh, and understand, yo, that's actually love. And love can also be multiple things. That's the song concept. What is love to you? Because there's different things that can be love. Love can be your love for, you can have love for music. You know what I'm saying? You got love for God. You could be like, God is love. You know what I'm saying? That's what, like, sometimes you like, it's like, yeah, God is love, but it's like, where was love when we needed it? You know, a lot of people ask that question, you know, saying whether you're spiritual or not. Even the most spiritual people ask, though, like, God is love. Well, where was you at during this time? Where was you at during it? You know what I'm saying? That's a question you have to ask. You realistically, you're gonna ask sometime. Or like, I love this person. They broke my heart. Like, I love this broke music or something. This broke my heart. I get my heart broken by music all the time. But unconditional love, you fight through it. You push through it, because that's what love is. Love is not gonna always be perfect. So whatever your situation is, what you love, who you love, what you consider love, that's props. Not sometimes it's not gonna be perfect. Sometimes it's gonna let you down, and you're gonna question it. And that was the concept of it. It's like you got to understand what the concept is, understand what is love, understand to love yourself as well, because you can't understand what love is until you understand what love is, and understand that you should love yourself first as well, so you know what that feeling is. Because when you don't love yourself, you're going to end up pushing it away, or you're going to build up some kind of barrier, and they're going to be trying to break through, and before you know it, they're going to give up, and now you back to square one, you by yourself. You're like, dang, love sucks. You know what I'm saying? So actually getting to the point of going through the experiences, and I still got a lot of experiences of life to go through, but I went through more than your average person already. So I understand what love is, and I understand how you can lose love and how you can lose sight of it. And I understand also love can break your heart, and you can break whatever you love heart as well. It's a two-sided street. You got it's never going to be as black or white. It's going to dichotomy, dark and light. It's always going to be two sides of that spectrum. So you got to understand that it gonna balance each other out. So you're gonna have those moments where you're gonna feel like you're gonna feel like abandoned, and you're gonna have those moments where you may abandon love as well, but it's always gonna be there waiting for you. And I had to learn that myself. It's always gonna be there. If it's true, whatever it is that you consider love, it's always gonna be there for you at the end. You just gotta reach out to it and don't lose sight of it.
Well said, man.
Thank
So the final track on the album is titled "You Should Be Watching." Can you talk specifically as to why you chose to end the album with that track?
Word. I wanted to end it because I wanted to start, like I said, started where you should be listening, you should be watching, giving them the guidance and the tools they need to like fight through that darkness and stuff, and to reach your light that you all have. You all have a light that's inside of this everlasting, never burn. You just gotta make sure that what I'm saying, you know what it is, you know how to achieve, you know how to reach it, and you gotta understand that there's gonna be some obstacles, and there's gonna be some darkness that's gonna be fighting against that. What I'm saying? But that light is everlasting, and you don't let that light dim. They're gonna try to dim it, but that light doesn't dim. You may think it does. And so it starts off where you should be listening, because the darkness is going on now. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta pay attention. If you can't see, you need to hear. You know what I'm saying? And once you pay attention to what your surroundings, now that you hit the light at the end of the album, now the light is shining through you. So he's like, yo, you got the light now through you. Like you know how to maneuver through these things, but now you need to watch. Now that you can see everything, what are you truly seeing? And if you what you're seeing, how you know what I'm saying, you gotta believe. It's like one of these things, believe. um how do you believe half of what you see, especially when half of what you see doesn't equal up to half of what you see. So a lot of this stuff can be delusion or illusions, a lot of things that they're showing you and stuff, you don't know what's real anymore, because they give you so much information that your brain trying to process. But you got to have the discernment to look through that and pay attention. So that's what we trying to give you the tools through the album. So like, yo, don't fall for the same old tricks. Know who you are as a person, know you have a light, know what love is, know what your purpose is out here. And if you know that, whatever they throwing at you, you ain't gonna fall for it. It's like, nah, I'm not gonna be another one of these zombies out here and these drones. Nah, I know who I am. I know what you're telling me is a lie. I know how to look, through the cracks. You know what I'm saying? I know how to look at the bigger picture. So it's like, now that you should be listening, now you should be watching. So then now you got that clarity. So when you listen to the album again, you listening and watching. And that's why I say I paint pictures. It's a 3D painting. So you don't just see it. I mean, you don't just hear it. You're gonna see it as well. It's gonna be a visual and hearing. You know what I'm saying? More of a you're processing it as well. So you know what I'm saying? We're gonna end the album just like that. Be like, yo, we gave them the tools that they need and stuff. Now they listening thoroughly. Now, I started it with making sure you listening, because that's the thing of why you still sleeping. It's like it's there. You know what I'm saying? Like even a lot of the lyrics is like, you just got to pay attention. You really got to pay attention, and you'll be like, oh, that's what that means. Or you got Google something or something. You know what I'm saying? And now you got to watch it. You got to pay attention to your surroundings and the world around you. And so now they can't, you ain't gonna be able to stumble in the darkness like you was before and stuff, because you see like, yo, I'm gonna watch every step. I'm gonna watch my surroundings. I'm gonna watch what they telling me. I'm gonna watch what I'm watching. I'm gonna watch what I'm eating. I'm gonna watch what I'm putting in my spirit. I'm gonna watch what I'm listening to, but I'm gonna pay attention to what I'm listening to too. So it's like multiple layers of that. So we was like, we want to make sure to end the album with that. You should be started, you should be listening, and you should be watching as well.
Man, dope explanation, man. Listen, it has been a pleasure talking to you, man. Like
Hey,
I've
thank you
learned
so
so
much.
much about this album that I wasn't even thinking about. So I have to go back and listen again.
Right,
More
right.
thoroughly. In closing, I wanted to ask you, and I think you alluded to this a little bit earlier, but I wanted you to really hone in a little bit more when you think about your music legacy, years from now when you look back, what do you want, your music legacy to be?
I wanted to be wanted to be seen as somebody who stood for something when everybody was complacent and contempt in the norm. This is somebody that stood out, that was dare to be different. Like they say, dare to be different. No, this is somebody that actually did that. Somebody stood for that. They didn't compromise their integrity, their goals, their morals. They know what they wanted and they got it their way. Like I said, I want other artists to follow suit because they be like, yo, look how he did it. Look how him and his team did. They fought through all the odds. They defied the odds. It would be like somebody who defied all odds and did it their way. They made the music they wanted to make. They knew how they wanted the image to be. They know how they wanted the sound to be. And they stood for something and they did it. Like, yo, they touring around the world. They set up, we got, we're going to have adoption agencies. So I'm going to get my mom a daycare. We're going to be giving food to the homeless, all kind of dope stuff that we're gonna be doing. And be like, look at all they doing, and they did it their way. That's what's gonna be remembered. Like they did it their way. They dared to be different. They honored the concept of individuality, and was a true dreamer, the underdog. Like that's all my supporters and my fam. They say that like I got the real underdog story. Like they consistently call me an underdog, and I've adapted that. I was like, yeah, I'm actually sometimes I feel like I'm beyond that because people be saying, yo, there's underdogs and then there's SkyBlew. That comment, that was something left on Two Dope Boys like years ago, and I never forgot that comment. I was like, wow, that stuck in me. Like, yo, I'm like, I'm beyond the underdog. That's crazy. This is how the people is looking at me. So it's
Mm,
just like in there, but they're rooting for me at the same time. So it's
yeah.
bittersweet. You know what I'm saying? So I want them to be like, yo, it's true underdog that came from nothing, defied all odds, went through, what I'm saying? A lot of people that went through half of what I went through ended up in a bad position. You know what I'm saying? But now I got people that comes up to me and reach out to me and stuff like that and be like, yo, I was in foster care too. I was through this and that and that. And your music show me that you can do it and stuff like that. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to be remembered as. Somebody who did it like that, that fought through the odds, was, stayed true to who they were, make the music they want to make while everybody was chasing a wave. We created that. We created our own wave, bought my people up. We didn't compromise. We didn't get caught up in all the craziness out here. We didn't do none of that. We stayed true to the mission and we didn't stop. And we followed that dream and saw it through. And I painted the sky blue when they were gray. That's why I want my legacy to be.
Man, definitely, man. Well said. So I want to ask you, man, like with this album that just came out, what are your thoughts in terms of how you want this album to live promotionally in the near future? Like, I mean, we coming towards the end of the year, but I feel like, you at least give yourself at least one album a year. So it seems like there's gonna be a nice amount of time of promotion for this project. So how do you want this project to live promotionally?
Um, what's crazy is I actually some years I dropped multiple projects. Like
Right.
2007, I might have dropped two projects. 2018, I think I dropped three. And 2019, I dropped two. 2020 is when I dropped one. And
Okay.
this year I dropped one. And never at the end of the year. This is the first time I'm really dropping a project at notes. That's because it put so much into this one
Right, right.
and went back on it and stuff like that. But next year I'm trying to at least hit them with 4 or 5
Oh,
projects.
oh, so you coming strong. So this
Yeah,
is
I'm
like
you know.
this is the appetizer. Even
Oh
though
yeah.
it's not an appetizer type of album, this is a very full, solid, well thought out, well produced release.
Word. Thank you.
So yeah, so you got a lot coming.
Yeah, I'm trying to hit it. I'm trying to, that's why I had that energy in that album and I ended it. You heard you should be watching, and people said,
Ah,
they be like, yo, that sound like an intro. because you, like I said, you can listen to it back to front or front to back, so it sounds like the beginning. And that's why we say, this only the beginning. Like, we just getting started. But far as the promotion for this album, I want to live like I wanted to. I think I want it to be a more organic thing. I want the people. That's why we say, what I'm saying, when you get that light, share it to others so they can share your light with others so they can illuminate the path ahead for them so they can be able to see as well. You know what I'm saying? So I want them to share that album, and I think it'll be one of those things where it'll be organically, like the fam, like you guys and stuff, the media that are gonna get behind it. I think it's gonna be one of those things where the people, like, little by little, is gonna be, what I'm saying, more and more people can gravitate to it and be like, yo, you ain't heard this? Like, you need to hear this. I think it's gonna be one of those. And what I'm saying, I think from here on out, because it's been getting a pretty dope reception so far, which is a blessing. And
Yeah.
I want it to be one of those that just organically does its thing. You know what I'm saying? That you may not see us in the top media and stuff like that, but in the circles, it's gonna be moving. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I want this album to do. I want it to be one of those things where the people bring it up first. Then that's when everybody else gonna kind of reach out and be like, oh, let me get behind this. You know what I'm saying? But we'll be on to the next thing by then. But
Are the lyrics on Bandcamp as well? I know you said it has like the explanation of the stories, but if people get the Bandcamp version, are they able to get the lyrics?
and now I ain't put the lyrics on Bandcamp. There's uh there's certain lyric sites that pick them up,
Okay.
and if you go to Genius as well,
Yeah.
like people like my fam Alex, shout out to him. He always get the lyrics down and stuff when the albums come out, and then I put the lyrics out sometime too, depending on the project. So my overseas people will see it as well to different lyric sites. So usually, if there's certain songs or out, they can just Google it and they'll see different lyric sites that'll pull it up. You know what I'm saying? So I may start doing that on Bandcamp too, but I think I'd be more focused on the story first. But I do on YouTube though, when I drop videos and songs, the one of the main comments, I make sure the lyrics be in the description. I mean, lyric be in the comment as well. So
Dope, dope, dope. So, man, I want to thank you again, man, for your time. Man, it was a pleasure talking with you.
thank
I
you.
wish you
Same.
all the best with this album
Thank you.
and the other stuff that you got coming. And I hope people are able that's catching this interview are able to enjoy it and go check out your music, man, because you definitely have something very special to offer in hip hop. And
Thank you,
Yo,
family.
I just want to see you continue to be successful at it, bro. Definitely continue doing what you do. I know that's a cliche saying, but like for real, like continue, man. Like you'll get there. Actually it's funny you spoke about the underdog because I have a shirt that I just created that says today's underdog is tomorrow's champion. And
Mm,
it's up
gotcha.
on the website, on the Big Cartel website. And you
Y'all
know,
check them out.
yeah, it's a hoodie. It that when I came up with the quote, like it resonated with me because of the experience I even had. Feeling like an underdog in this
Word.
space as an interviewer. Doing this for 13 years and
Mm,
still kind of grinding. And in the last year or so, it shifted to where I started focusing on the artists that I really like, regardless of how famous they were. And I tried, and I've been really true to that. And it's yielded some really good responses. I haven't gotten the big accolades yet, but I
you
take the
will.
craft seriously, in terms of how I prepare for interviews and I study the music and I'm just a fan of quality, creative, and thought-provoking hip hop. So I say this to you as a person that's, grinding as well and trying to keep things moving, continue the journey, brother. Continue the journey and much success to you.
Thank you, brother. Same for you. I believe in what you're doing, and I this is you paying your dues. It's like we said, paying your dues. I do. You soon enough. you're gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? I believe in what you're doing. We need more people like you that's focused on, not the wave and or what's the trending thing. No, you focus on lyricism and the musicality and the artist and their mind state of everything like that.
Right.
We need
And,
more of that. And I respect what you do, and I know it's gonna only take off from here, brother. And I wish you the best as well. Thank you for your love and support.
no doubt, man. Thank you as well. And before we get out of here, any last words you want to share to the folks that you think they should know?
Um, just quit falling for the okey doke. You know what I'm saying? Quit letting them divide us. We got to come together as a people, all, no matter what your beliefs are, no matter where you come from, your skin color, sexuality, it don't matter. We're one. We're a human race. You know what I'm saying? We all the tactics to divide us all the time and stuff. We at some point you gotta pull the wool from over your eyes and realize you being bamboozled. Like that's why we start the album out like that. You know what I'm saying? But if we come together out of unity and love, like real love and stuff, we can't be stopped. Because we the ones that supposed to coexist and live and inhabit this world as one, not the people that's ruling under the gun and overlooking and send the overseers and all that, and the people in power. No, it's us. This is our earth. We were put here to inhabit this earth together. So you know what I'm saying, just come together. I love. Don't keep falling for the same okie doke every day. Is something to come out that we arguing about on social media. We as in the people and stuff, because we ain't in that. But you know what I'm saying, that's the same old. We just got to come together, man, and don't keep letting them do the same thing over and over again. Eventually, the more you drown that stuff out, you know what I'm saying, they're gonna keep throwing, trying what they do, but it ain't gonna stick no more. It's like, dang, we gonna have to do something different. They know who they are now. They united, they together as one. You know what I'm saying? If that happens, we're unstoppable. So just what I'm saying, I just want to let everybody know that, what I'm saying, love each other, what I'm saying, no matter what it is, whatever your political stance, all that stuff, forget all that, what I'm saying. Love each other, because this is our thing. We're supposed to do it. We're supposed to be here together, you know what I'm saying? So I just want to spread love. I want everybody else to tell somebody you love them. And I hope you enjoy the music. Go chase your dreams. Don't give up hope, no matter what they tell you. There's going to be a brighter tomorrow. I promise you that, man. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. Just hang in there. Don't give up. And just let you know that you got somebody. If you ever need somebody to talk to, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? And Navo, whoever else, you know what I'm saying? Reach out to us and we got y'all back, because we in this together. So peace and love, man.
Indeed. Let them know where they can find you online, like your website, socials, and stuff like that.
Oh, no.
Contacts, whatever you want to give. Yeah.
Okay, no doubt. You can find my album. I mean, you could, of course, any streaming thing or whatever. Just type in SkyBlew, capital S, capital B, all one word, all together. On Facebook.com/SkyBlew Music, Instagram.com/ at SkyBlew Music. I don't be on Twitter. I got one. Hey SkyBlew, HEY SkyBlew, but I don't be on there. Yeah, Twitter's nuts. And then SoundCloud.com/SkyBlew Music. But my main joint where you can find all my albums is my Bandcamp, and that's SkyBlew1.bandcamp.com. SkyBlew1.bandcamp.com. I got all my albums up there and everything like that. So check me out and stuff, and hopefully you find something you like. I got something for everybody up there.
Indeed. And to all of our viewers, listeners, the fans of the platform, I want to thank y'all again. Remember to go to outtheboxmedia.com, where you can find access to all of our previous episodes, all the way back to 2009, man. We have a lot of interviews. And if you are not subscribed on the website, just to get updated with all the things related to Out the Box, yeah, definitely head over there and subscribe. Go on and subscribe. And support us in other ways that you can as well. Thank you again to my guest, SkyBlew. Again, brother, thank you, and I wish you all the best. Much success to you.
Thank you,
And
family.
to all of people out there listening, and checking out the show and viewing the show. I just want to say peace, love, and light. Y'all stay healthy, stay focused, stay safe. We are out of here. Peace.
Peace.